There's nothing worse for a guitarist, especially if you love R&B and Neosoul, than wanting to play something and not knowing what chords to play. You're sat down, chilling, trying to think about that last song that you learned a while ago, and all of a sudden, you don't know what chords to play. So I'm gonna break down the top 3 R&B and Neosoul chord progressions that you can play on guitar. The first chord progression is in the key of D minor, and it sounds like this. And as you can hear, it already has all of the elements of the R&B and Neosoul style. We start by plucking a B flat major 7 with the root on the 6th string. If you're tired of getting confused about 7th chords, 9, 11, 13 chords that you need to play R&B and Neosoul guitar, I put together a free cheat code available for you to download in the description below, with the 32 chord positions that I personally selected as the must-know chord positions to play R&B and Neosoul guitar. We move then to an A7, but this is a special one. It's an A7 altered because it has the sharp 5. You can tell that this chord adds more tension, okay? I played with this fingering 1, skip a string, 2, 3, 4. You can even bar this finger if you like. And the cool thing is that the top note, F, is really the same top note that you will have in the next chord, D minor 7, which is the chord from which the key takes the name. Like this. Now on this A7 sharp 5, I'm playing 4 single notes. Okay? And then on the D minor 7, I do, again, one of those cliches of this style, which is a hammer-on, okay, with the 2nd finger. And then, in order to come back to the B flat major 7, which is not the name of the key, but it's the first chord in the chord progression, remember we are in D minor, I play a couple of diminished 7th chords. E flat, played with the root on the A string, and this fingering 2, 3, 1, 4, and then I slide these 3 frets across to a G flat diminished 7. Keep in mind, guys, that you can move diminished 7 chords by 3 half steps up or down, and you're still playing the same chord. It's kind of like an inversion of the original chord. You just got the same notes in a different order. And the reason why I can play the E flat diminished 7th and the G flat diminished 7th is because I am in fact thinking of an F7 chord, an F7 flat 9. Which I'm not playing, but this would be the 5-7, the secondary dominant if you wish, of the chord I'm heading to, which is the B flat major 7. And that F7 flat 9, once you play it without the note F, so without the root, is really the diminished 7 chord that we are playing right now. Okay, you can call it in different ways depending on where you position the first note, the root of this chord, but like we explained, you can move it by 3 half steps and you're still playing the same chord. So combined all together, it goes. As we said, this chord progression is in D minor, so D minor is the 1 minor chord. B flat major 7 is the flat 6 major 7. Please guys, remember to use that flat, because all minor keys, all minor scales have a flat 6th degree, at least the natural minor scale, and there is no such a thing as the 6th degree being a major 7 chord. It's the flat 6 being major 7, as well as the flat 3 and the flat 7, when we are in a minor key. A7 altered is the 5-7 altered for this chord, and then, like we said, 1 minor 7. Now, the second chord progression is in the key of C sharp minor, and it sounds like this. So here we do start with the C sharp minor 7, same position as the previous minor 7 chord. We still do the hammer-on the second string, but then you go on the first string, kind of like to create this kind of melody. So hammer on, pull off, and then first string. And then you pluck all together an A major 7 with this lovely voicing, because even though it's an open string chord, it's a fantastic way to play a major 7 chord. Listen to this. So, okay, obviously in between there is the percussion on beat 2. And then you go to 2 minor 11 chords, F sharp minor 11, which will have the open B string as the 11th, and then G sharp minor 11. So it's kind of like the same position moved 2 frets across. I typically like to play the first one with an arpeggio, and then a pluck and a single note for the second minor 11 chord. 1 minor 7, as usual, to the flat 6 major 7. We now know why flat 6 major 7, and then the 4 minor 7 and the 5 minor 7 in the key of C sharp minor. The third and final chord progression for this lesson is one that I had to include because it's made by all minor 7 chords, and it's one of the most common in R&B and Neosoul guitar. You can find plenty of songs with this specific chord progression. We are in the key of E minor 7, and the first chord is E minor 7, same position we played before. This time the root is on fret 7 of the A string, and then you play, as we said, another 2 minor 7 chords, the B minor 7 and A minor 7. You can play any position you like. Now I like to play this bar and then ring finger like this, fret 7 and fret 5 of the E string in order to find B and A, and I like to play this rhythm. So as you can see, I like to alternate between an arpeggio, a single note arpeggio, and a little game between the pluck of this chord and single notes, but also the percussions and the ghost notes to add more groove to what I'm playing, and then repeat the same here, single note arpeggios, and again pluck. Presence of the ghost notes between the percussions, between the single note arpeggios, certainly helps creating more and more groove. Now, one thing that you guys can do, if you like, you can introduce, again, even here a diminished 7 passing chord, a semitone below the 1 minor chord, which is E minor. This will be a D sharp diminished 7th, so fret 6 of the A string is where you find the root, and the same fingering as before, 2, 3, 1, 4, okay? Again, I see this as the upper part of a B7 flat 9, okay? Secondary dominant to go to E minor, right? And you could introduce it kind of like this. Maybe not every time, but from time to time, this could be, again, one of those ingredients that you use to sound more R&B. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to check out my R&B and Neosoul courses in the description below, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.